Cup of Tea by Katherine Mansfield. Rosemary Fell was not exactly beautiful, but she was certainly charming, if one didn't break her up into parts. She was young, intelligent, modern, stylishly dressed, married, and extremely wealthy. Her reading tastes were surprising, and her parties were attended by important figures of society and eccentric artists, often her own discoveries. All of them were sensible and interesting people. Her husband, Philip, loved her deeply and valued her wishes. They were not just well-off, but incredibly rich. While ordinary people went shopping on Bond Street, Rosemary would go straight to Paris. One cold evening, she went to an antique shop on Curzon Street to make a purchase. She loved this shop for two reasons. First, because whatever she bought from there became part of her personal treasures. And second, because the shopkeeper seemed absurdly happy to serve her. When she walked in, his eyes lit up. "Madam," he said warmly, "I am passionately fond of my things. I don't sell them to people who don't appreciate them, who lack fine feelings, so rare these days." From beneath blue velvet, he produced a small square box and set it on the counter. It was an exquisite enamel jewel box, looking as if it had been dipped in cream and baked. On the lid, a tiny figure stood beneath a flower-laden tree, while an even smaller figure clung to it in a garlanded embrace. A little hat hung from a petal, a green ribbon heightened the beauty, and a pink cloud floated like an angel above their heads. Rosemary slipped off her gloves, something she always did before touching such things. She fell in love with the box, opening and closing it, lost in its charm. "Look at the flowers on the dress of the little figure," whispered the shopkeeper. "Perfectly charming," she agreed. "But how much is it?" After a tiny pause, he whispered, 28 guineas, madam." 28 guineas? Rosemary put the box down and began putting her gloves back on. Even for her, that price was steep. Distracted, she glanced at a plump little teapot and said, "All right, keep it for me. I'll come back." The shopkeeper bowed, as though it was a matter of honor. Perhaps he would keep it for her forever. Outside, it was cold, rainy, and dark. The street lamps glowed with a melancholy light, as if in regret. People hurried home with umbrellas. Rosemary placed a hand on her chest, wishing the jewel box were already in her hands. Her car was close by, but she hesitated as though peeking out from a safe place into the unpleasant moments of life. Suddenly, a thin, dark-haired girl appeared in front of her, sobbing. "Madam, may I speak to you?" "To me?" Rosemary turned. The girl was about her own age, with large eyes, pale, tired, clutching the collar of her coat against the cold. I want money for a cup of tea, madam." "A cup of tea?" The voice was simple, serious, not like a beggar's. Rosemary asked, "You have no money at all?" "No, madam." How extraordinary, thought Rosemary in the dark. The girl stared at her. Suddenly, an image from Dostoevsky flashed in Rosemary's mind. Why not take her home? It would be thrilling. She could tell her friends she had just brought her home. Imagine their surprise. "Come home with me. We'll have tea together." The girl gasped and stepped back, as if she had forgotten to shiver. Rosemary touched her hand and smiled. "Yes, I mean it. Why won't you come? My car is here." "You're not taking me to the police station, madam." "The police station?" Rosemary laughed. "I'm not cruel. I want to warm you up and hear your story." A hungry person is quickly moved. The footman opened the car door, and they slid into the darkness. Rosemary felt a rush of triumph. She looked at the girl, her captive now, and thought, "I've got you at last." She was full of compassion, wanting to prove that fairy godmothers existed, that rich people could have hearts too. "Don't be frightened," she said suddenly. "We're both women. If I'm lucky, you will be too." She stopped speaking because the car had reached her grand house. Inside, warmth, light, fragrance, and softness, familiar to Rosemary, but strange to the girl, surrounded them. "Come upstairs," Rosemary said. She didn't want the servants to stare, and she wouldn't call her maid either. She wanted the girl to feel free. They entered a vast bedroom of golden furniture and pastel cushions. The girl lingered at the door. "Sit here, you'll get warm. It's very cold outside." "I can't, madam." The girl stepped back. Please, Rosemary coaxed. Don't be afraid. I'll just put these things away, and then we'll have tea. But the girl stood still like a statue, hands pressed to her sides, mouth open, looking a little foolish. Aren't you going to take off your hat? Your hair's wet. You'll feel better without it. Yes, madam, she whispered and removed her hat. Now your coat. Let me help. The girl leaned on the chair for support, but didn't help. Rosemary thought she might at least cooperate. Then, the coat and hat were on the floor. Rosemary was about to fetch cigarettes when the girl said, Forgive me, madam, but if I don't eat something right now, I'll faint. Good heavens. Rosemary rang the bell. Tea quick, and some brandy. No brandy, cried the girl. I've never touched it, just tea, madam. Then she began to cry. It was an intense, fascinating moment. Rosemary knelt beside her. Don't cry, poor thing. She gave her a handkerchief and felt such emotion she could hardly speak. She put her arms around her like a little bird. The girl's reserve melted. She forgot who she was, remembering only that they were both women. This won't do, Rosemary thought. I can't bear it. I must do something. You don't have to do anything, she told her. I'll take care of you. Stop crying. How lucky we met. We'll have tea. You'll tell me your story, and I'll make arrangements. The girl stopped crying. Rosemary laid out the tea, sandwiches, bread, butter. Every time the girl's cup emptied, she refilled it with tea, cream, and sugar. Food worked wonders. After tea, a different person lounged in the chair, still thin and pale, but with bright eyes and a sweet weariness. When did you last eat? Rosemary asked softly. The door handle turned. May I come in? It was Philip. Of course. He entered, then stopped, seeing the girl. It's all right, Rosemary smiled. This is my friend, Miss Smith, madam, said the girl calmly. Yes, Miss Smith. We were just talking. I see, Philip said, his eyes falling on the coat and hat on the floor. Sitting near the fire, he remarked, Beastly afternoon, wasn't it? Horrible, Rosemary agreed. He smiled. Would you come to the library for a moment? Begged Miss Smith's pardon. Rosemary followed him. Who is she? What's going on? He asked. Rosemary laughed. I picked her up in Curzon Street. She asked for money for tea, so I brought her home. What are you going to do with her? Be nice to her. Look after her. We haven't talked yet, but I'm making her feel she's my dear little girl. You're mad, Philip said. It's not that simple. I knew you'd say that. Why not? I want to. Surely that's enough. Things like this happen in novels. I made up my mind. But, Philip said slowly, she's absolutely lovely. Lovely? Rosemary flushed with surprise and irritation. I never thought of that. Oh Lord. Philip struck a match. Extremely lovely. From the moment I came in, I couldn't take my eyes off her. You're making a mistake. Forgive me if I sound harsh. Will Miss Smith dine with us? I'd like to see the Milliner's Gazette. Nonsense. Rosemary left the library, went to the study instead of her bedroom. Lovely. Extremely lovely. Her heart was beating hard. She opened her checkbook, then decided a check was useless. She took 3 5-pound notes, put 2 back, and crumpled the third in her hand as she went to the bedroom. Half an hour later she returned. Leaning against the door, she said, Miss Smith is not dining with us. Broken your promise? Philip asked. She insisted on going. I gave her some money. I couldn't keep her against her will. She fixed her hair, touched up her face, put on pearls, and brushed Philip's cheek. You do like me, don't you? She asked sweetly. Yes, very much, he said, holding her close. Kiss me. There was a pause. Then Rosemary murmured dreamily. I saw the most adorable little enamel box today. It's 28 guineas. May I have it? Yes, of course, you extravagant creature, Philip laughed. But Rosemary had another question, softer now. Philip, she whispered, resting her head on his chest. Am I pretty? Your one click is our encouragement. Please subscribe, like, and share. Thank you so much.